Hello guys, welcome to Marthoma Effect. As you guys can all see, we have our Chaya here, and this is a Chaya Chat series where we will be exploring different topics surrounding a Catholic faith. I'm your host Alan, and today we have an amazing couple from Perth, Francis Abraham and Divya Jose, and we will be sharing in their stories and sharing in their personal insights and experience into the topic of marriage and family. So just to give a quick rundown about these two amazing individuals, they're both full-time engineers, but also full-time parents. They share 3 amazing kids, and they are approaching a pretty major milestone of 10 years being married. So Francis Sherda and Divya Cheji, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So how are you guys both doing, first of all?
Doing great.
Yeah. Amazing. So I guess we'll jump straight into the topic, right? So marriage, when I was thinking about marriage and family, it's such a massive topic, right, to kind of handle. And I thought, why not start off with the starting point, which is discerning and discernment. So
Absolutely.
How did you guys approach that?
For me, during my schooling, the process has started. My parents have told me to take an effort personally. I have been fasting a meal once in a week.
So this was pretty early on, or?
Around my schooling, like high school.
High school, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's how I prepared. And I took some effort to watch around the families and couples around me. And this has been continued for a while. And at the end, I realized my vocation is married life.
Married life. And Sherda, was that similar for you?
Oh, similar. It all started in a similar time frame as well during the high schooling. And it's a long journey, it was a long journey for me, but I was lucky to be around my parents who've been really approachable, and pretty much growing up I knew the discernment story of my parents, which has really helped me in my discernment journey. It's a long journey, but all it takes is don't be shy. If you need help of your parents, the priest around you, you need to approach them. And there'll be times then when you come across and you'll realize this is your call.
And was that something that your parents kind of told you before, like they would share their stories, or did you approach them? How?
I can't remember which way was that, but all I know is I know all their stories.
Oh, of course, yeah.
My parents been really approachable. They've been missionary parents, and they've been really approachable. They opened their entire childhood and youth and all that stories in front of us, and which has helped us, growing up.
And so their stories became a source of inspiration for your discernment.
Absolutely, and that's how we kept involving parents from that day onwards. Even now, we seek their advice, and we tell them. If it comes to the level where we buy a car, we pretty much show them the car over the video. We love it. We love that parental
Perfect. Well, I guess this is a question that most of our viewers want to hear is, how did you guys meet? Did Chavra matrimony, did that play a role in that? Or?
I have raised it.
Purely arranged marriage.
Arranged marriage, okay.
This was back in 2014.
Okay.
I was in New Zealand and Divya was in India. I wasn't looking for a proposal at that time, but Divya's parents were. And to cut this long story short, Divya was attending a retreat, and I was busy working in New Zealand, and everything just happened in just 3 days. We only had a 3-minute video conference conversation between each other. It's hard to believe, right?
Wait, 3 days and a 3-minute conversation.
Yeah, that's it. And you won't even believe this. And for the first time when we met, that was just 8 days before the marriage.
Oh my!
Okay. I mean, personally,
but we had 3 to 4 months from fixing our marriage to prepare and know more of each other over the phone. Being an Indian.
Well, Gerald, you must have been quite the salesman, right? To sell yourself in 3 minutes. I mean, that's amazing.
I would say the video conferencing quality back in the days were not that great as well.
Well, then that kind of brings to the point that your proposal was kind of brought by your parents, right? So
yes.
Arranged marriage. Was that difficult to kind of? Were you guys okay with that, or how was?
Yeah, we've been okay. The moment you realize your vocation is married life, and then being open to your parents to start with, because your parents are the ones who know you better than anyone else
Yeah,
in the
of
world,
course.
to start with. I know it's a bit hard to analyze from that angle in the Australian context growing up here, but for us, that was a different thing because, as I said, both my parents being preachers, missionaries, and Divya's father is also a preacher, a Catholic preacher. So one thing for me personally was like, when it comes to marriage, I was certain and I was a bit afraid that, what if my wife not gonna like this missionary attitude of the family.
Yeah.
And this is where the parents got involved. They got to know each other, and they came back and said, like, "It's perfect,"
So they simplify the process.
Yes.
Simplify the
Nice.
process,
Gotcha. Well, if I'm a person that's listening in right now, I would be thinking, you guys met at the right time. You guys were, similar points after this discernment process and everything. So it fit perfectly, right? Like it was the right time. Well, with that being said, then what is the right time, for a person to approach?
In both our cases, there's no such right time. God can call anyone at any time.
Yeah.
It all depends on how you manage it. And I've seen people holding that call very strong and holding it very strong to the heart as a treasure. Personally, there were times, even though I said like married life is my vocation, there were times in my childhood I thought to be a priest.
Yeah. Oh,
and in my high school, I thought like I will become a Franciscan Capuchin priest. And I got opened up this to all my friends around me. Pretty much, there were times people made fun of me, calling me Kochachan. On the contrast, my younger brother, he's actually a priest now in the Northeast Mission of India, and he just kept it so quiet, and he didn't even left us any hint, even to the moment when he joined the seminary.
Oh, wow.
So when I look at him, and I would say like he managed that vocation journey really well. All right. Yes, of course. Later on, we found that our parents knew about it. Even our parents managed that whole process really well. It's all about you cherishing and treasuring that call and holding on to it. And when it's the right time, just hit it and act it. You don't need to tell everyone.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was a nice parallel that you drew up, which is like you try to approach as many people as possible to try and, draw inspiration, whereas your brother kind of kept it, on the low and he kind of prayed about it. So that's amazing that you brought up those two parallels.
Absolutely.
But then, so we have the right time, but then we have the right person, right? And so today, there's a lot of expectations that people go in with, and some people say, oh, they have to be 6 foot, right? They have to have curly hair.
Yeah.
So what were your expectations like going in looking for the right person?
I had 2 expectations in my mind. It was it should be a man of faith and non-alcohol.
No. So 6 foot, that was no.
No,
5'11".
Good enough.
Yeah, but God delivered accordingly. But I'm saying sometimes setting no expectation is a key to good married life.
Yeah, I agree to that one.
Yeah.
Once you set up expectation, you never know what you're going to walk into, right?
Yes.
And once you set your expectation, it will be really hard for you to, manage it.
Yeah.
And again, we need to know one thing and acknowledge one thing. Marriage is all about combining a man and a woman, right?
Yeah.
When you look at my case and Divya's case, I was born in a different family to Divya's, right? My parents being different. Each family is unique. Even though we come from the Catholic background, the formation and development is been totally different. So you need to understand the man and the woman, they are coming from 2 different dynamism, 2 different value streams, 2 different faith streams. And on top of that one, if you keep the expectations, it will be really hard for you to, so you need to make it simple.
So
don't overcomplicate.
Well, then would you say that it was important to marry a Syro Malabar Catholic then?
Absolutely. Personally for me and also for Divya, we kept it really strong in that area. As I said, it's 2 different individuals coming from 2 dynamisms and 2 value streams. And on top of that, I wasn't ready to embrace a person from a different faith stream. End of the day, we need to keep it simple and do not complicate married life.
Perfect. That's all good.